Tell me, how do you keep going after, say, the first 5 or 6? What is within you that says, no, I'm not going to accept this?
Excuse me.
It's okay.
My faith in God and having a dream. When you know that you're called to do something, you're destined to do something in life, at times, you know, the journey can be long.
Mm-hmm.
It can be hard, but when you know you're called to do something in life, you keep going. You just keep going. So I was a paralegal at the Department of Justice. I was working in immigration law and still working and still trying to get into law school. And around 2007, I will never forget, I was going to Columbia, South Carolina for training at the Department of Justice. We have training for our paralegals down in Columbia, South Carolina. And before I left for training, I received an email from one of the missions personnel here who sent me an email regarding the school. And so at this point, I had applied to 34 times law school. And I was thinking to myself, Lord, you know, I know if you call me to do this, you'll open up the door. I know I have to do my part, but you're going to have to do something too, Lord.
Meet me halfway.
Okay, meet me halfway. So at this point, I was still trying to get in law school. I was going on travel, like I said, to South Carolina. So I saw the email. I said, okay, Master's School of Law. I didn't know anything about the school. I said, I'll check into it when I come back from travel. I came back from travel. And so I researched the school and found out about its history and what it could offer me. And I still didn't know I wanted to come to Massachusetts. I didn't know anything about the area. And an attorney of mine, I'll never forget, she told me, Clonetta.
Shit, her name was Clonetta?
No.
Oh,
Her name actually is Joanne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, Clonetta, you have applied to law school so many times over the past 5 years. And they were all ABA. And when I told her about this school and that it was a non-ABA school, she said, this is a non-ABA school. If you can't get into a non-ABA school, at least you can say you have tried all avenues. Don't give up. I applied. I came here for the interview process and the admissions process, and the rest is history. Within less than a month, my whole life changed. I had to tell my job I was going on leave of absence in the government, and I literally picked up from Maryland and moved to Massachusetts. And it was the best decision I've ever made for so many reasons. For so many reasons. I can go down a list. First of all, this school, when I came to the school, the admissions process itself was enlightening. It was different. The admissions process of the question and the Q&A was more into how I have established myself as an adult since I've graduated from undergrad. Mm-hmm. Not so much what does it take to get into school, but the person who interviewed me, he was more interested, well, what have you established as an adult in the workforce? What have you done? Mm-hmm. Because I believe the school takes into account your experience as a person in the workforce, mm-hmm. as opposed to a person that's coming straight out of undergrad. Even though there's nothing wrong with that experience, right. There's something to be said when you are working in the workforce and you come back to school. You can bring that type of knowledge and experience to your experience in law school. Mm-hmm. So they were very interested in my background history with regarding immigration law, what I did at St. Mary's. And then it was just enlightening to be able to get into a school where the LSAT was not a big factor.
Wasn't a factor at all.
It wasn't a factor at all, actually. Mm-hmm. And that had been my situation. I realized that score was very important because I was a student on the same level as any other student. The great grades, personal statements, mm-hmm. everything. But what differentiated me from other students was the score.
You know, what we've found, and it might help to know, is that there really is no correlation between the LSAT score, and you've helped to prove it as well, is the ability to successfully complete law school and be a great lawyer. I mean, look at your own accomplishments here. You're graduating now with honors. You have been highly successful in the trial advocacy teams, competing against schools like Harvard and Syracuse, and more often than not whipping them. and you're graduating with the Dean's Award for significant accomplishments. I mean, it's what's here
Yes.
and here that counts. It's not what a multiple choice test says that you should have the ability to do, because you've proven by a long shot that you're going to be just one terrific lawyer, you know.
Thank you.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.